our fantastic developer community, all millions of you around the world, for choosing to build with Google. Literally, whatever you can imagine, you can bring it to life, because only Google's ecosystem gives you the potential to reach people on 3 billion Android devices and 2 billion Chrome and Chromium-based browsers. You've created millions of helpful apps with Firebase, Google Cloud, and generative AI models like Gemini and Gemma. At Google, we're on a mission to make generative AI accessible to every developer on the planet. It's transforming the very fundamentals of software development, including new techniques for how you build and new inspiration for what you build. AI helps you to be more productive by assisting you with many different development tasks, such as writing, debugging, and testing your code, or generating documentation and understanding your code base. That's why Gemini is available to you, all developers, to use in Android Studio, Chrome DevTools, Project IDX, Colab, VS Code, IntelliJ, and Firebase. Gemini is even more helpful with context such as app settings, performance data, your logs, and source code. This is just a glimpse of AI changing how we build. Now, let's go to what you build. Today, people just assume that things will work great across any platform, any device that they use, literally anywhere they are, whether on the go, at home, or at work, in their local town, or on the other side of the world. At the same time, the tools that you use need to make that possible, and they're constantly evolving. It's great to see the latest technologies come out, but that means more complexity, especially with so many different AI concepts to learn. We want to make your lives simpler. As code becomes content and coders become creators. Whether you're building an AI-powered mobile app, a web app, or an interactive experience that works across all platforms, we're providing you with powerful, more integrated development tools, both from Google and the open ecosystem, and it comes with secure, easy access to Google's most capable AI models and global cloud infrastructure. Ultimately, it's about helping you to stay focused on what you want to build. Amazing products and services, and not the plumbing. Which takes me to our agenda for today. Up next, you'll hear more on how you can use the Gemini API and Google AI Studio to develop engaging and multimodal apps. Then we will take you through how Gemini helps you to create a whole new category of AI-powered experiences on Android and web with exceptional levels of productivity. We've also been hard at work creating the very best experience for full-stack, multi-platform development. Our team will share what's now possible with Project IDX, Flutter, and Firebase. And we think that will dramatically expand what you can build. Then, we will talk about how you can build and customize your own AI models with Gemma. You'll see how Colab, Keras, and Jax make it really easy. Finally, I'll be back up here to share one more thing before we wrap it up. Are you ready to jump in? Okay, awesome. Jacqueline, come join us.
Our investment in our AI research and infrastructure allows us to put the power of AI directly into your hands. We make it easy to start building an AI app with a simple API integration, so you can focus on building the best possible products for your users. Now, meeting many of you at hackathons and meetups, I am blown away by how you're pushing the boundaries with our new AI models, from new ideas using audio and video inputs to the creative use of longer context windows. It's really inspiring to see. And like you heard about earlier today, selecting the right AI model for your needs requires a balance across quality, cost, and speed. That's why I'm thrilled that Gemini 1.5 Flash is officially open to all developers to start building with today. You can get started using the Gemini API in Google AI Studio, which is now available in more than 200 countries and territories. But what I'm seeing more and more these days is that it isn't just about selecting the right model, but also the right techniques to bring your ideas to life. Let's say you want to personalize the responses you get. Now, one way to do that is by tuning the model. In fact, Google AI Studio lets you do that in minutes. And now, with our 2 million token context window, you have another compelling option. Let me show you how in Google AI Studio. So here I'm already signed in. We've made it easier for you to start prompting right away. Or if you want to get straight to code, you can quickly grab an API key here to use with one of our many SDKs. If you're looking for some inspiration, we also have a Gemini API cookbook, which is a great resource. But today, I actually want to take you through one of my own personal workflows that has unlocked a new way of getting things done. Now, if you're anything like me, ideas always seem to strike when I'm away from the computer. So now when an idea comes to mind, I quickly grab my phone and I capture a voice memo to myself. This could be at the park with my daughters or while I'm out walking. So let's actually jump into a saved prompt that I have right now. This is what I use to help me write new blog posts. As you can see, I've already added some system instructions which tell the model it's an experienced writer. I've also added a few of my previous blog posts so that the output is going to better mirror my tone, style, and word choice. Next, I'm going to add a bunch of voice memos of some half-baked thoughts I've had recently for an upcoming post. So we'll click in here, go into my drive, and add these two voice memos. Now, while those are loading, I'm actually going to play you a clip from one of those, just so you have an idea of exactly what I've sent into Gemini.
Okay, so recently I made the connection about two pretty prominent moments in my career. The first.
Okay, so as you can clearly hear, I was at the park with my daughters pushing them on the swings. Now that these have loaded, I'm going to add a simple prompt. Turn these into a blog post. I'll hit run. And what you're about to see is Gemini 1.5 Flash take all of that content, my previous blog post, the system instructions, my voice memos, along with that prompt, and turn it into what will hopefully be a compelling first draft of my next blog post. From throwaway work to breakthrough ideas, or to breakthroughs, embracing the power of right to think. Not bad for a working title. I think I can probably take it from there. As context windows grow, we're discovering new ways to interact with models to solve tasks. Huge context windows unlock a new set of AI applications, but they're also more computationally expensive, which is why I'm excited to announce the new context caching feature coming next month. So how does it work? Well, let's say a large part of your prompt doesn't change. You can cache that once and easily call it on subsequent turns for a fraction of the price. So imagine I'm a journalist trying to figure out what to write about next. To help me brainstorm ideas, I might want to gather all the content I've already created. Previous articles, some video clips, maybe some voice memos. Using context caching, I'll send all this content at once, which let's say will cost me about 20 cents for that first turn, along with the regular input price for the rest of my prompt. Since I cache that content that I'm referencing, each following turn will only cost me 10 cents, plus the cost of any new prompts. Of course, this concept is extensible to so many different applications that you might want to build. These could involve things like legal documents, research papers, school assignments, or employee training materials. The sky is the limit. Gemini models are empowering developers worldwide to transform workflows, enhancing efficiency, and also adding a touch of user delight. Take, for example, front-end development. Locify.ai takes a Figma design and uses their own AI models to generate code. But what's really unique is how they're pairing it with Gemini's 1 million token context window. You see, oftentimes front-end designs contain hundreds of layers with nondescript names such as Rectangle1 or Group76. Locify sends this entire design to 1.5 Pro to generate meaningful names in the front-end code. Because Gemini understands the purpose behind Rectangle1, it's actually able to rename it in code as something more useful, like header background. Another one that I love is how AI models are unlocking new abilities. Envision is powering people with low vision to better understand their immediate environment through an app or smart glasses and ask specific questions. Because of the speed of 1.5 Flash, users will be able to get quick responses. Another developer, Zapier, is enabling anybody to seamlessly connect different apps and automate repetitive tasks like podcast editing. They built a workflow to automatically remove speaker artifacts like ahs and ums from audio tracks that's triggered as soon as a user uploads a file to Google Drive. As developers, the ideas you have and the code you write will help transform AI into practical applications for the world. We're announcing our Gemini API developer competition for a chance to win the grand prize, a custom electric DeLorean. For those of you in the audience, be sure to check it out at the AI Pavilion, maybe grab a picture, and visit our website for more details. And now I'm going to leave you with my favorite developer to tell you a little bit more about it.
Hey! You may recognize me from my acting work, but my real passion is programming. When I'm in the zone, I'm unstoppable. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm really excited about the future. And Google's Gemini models are tech that can get us there. And you know I'm submitting to Google's new Gemini developer contest, which is so cool it'll blow your mind back to beta. A chance to win for the most creative, useful, and remarkable apps. If you're a dev or dev team that wants to submit, great. But you'll have some catching up to do. I just drank 3 cups of nitro cold brew, and I'm ready to crank out some genius. Time to go wormhole.
Jacqueline talked about how Gemini models benefit all developers. Now, we'll look at examples of how AI unlocks excellent experiences on Android, the world's most popular operating system. We're reimagining Android with AI at the core, enabling you to build a whole new class of apps on mobile. This unlocks experiences that were not even possible just a few years ago. So, let's dive into the ways that Gemini can power building the next generation of apps on Android. Using Google AI Studio, you can integrate the Gemini API directly into your app to leverage Gemini models. When using Google Cloud, you can also access the powerful capabilities of Gemini through Vertex AI. This is Google's fully managed development platform designed for building and deploying generative AI. Whether you simply need world-class inference capabilities or want to build end-to-end AI workflows with Vertex, the Gemini API is a great solution. Next, let's look at Gemini Nano, our most efficient model for on-device tasks. It runs directly on mobile, enabling low-latency responses and data privacy. This helps you implement features like suggested replies in messaging apps while knowing that the data won't leave the device. Gemini Nano also guarantees AI model availability even when there's no cellular network coverage. Gemini Nano inference is made possible by AI Core, a system service managing on-device foundation models. It removes the developer burden of packaging and distributing large language models. Gemini Nano and AI Core are currently available on the Pixel 8 Pro and Samsung Galaxy S24 series, and as you heard earlier, will be expanding their reach to additional devices later this year. Gemini Nano gives you the best path to running a generative AI model on device. And yet, we know that being able to customize and work with open models is important too. So we also built MediaPipe LLM to give you a complete solution. Last year, we announced an early access program for Gemini Nano, and we got an overwhelming amount of responses. We're now working closely with a few early adopters to ensure we're creating the best APIs that unlock the most innovative experiences. We're now on the path to opening access even wider in the coming months. One of these trailblazers is Patreon. They're building an experience that helps creators and fans rapidly catch up on unread messages in their community chats. And another example is Grammarly. Their team has been able to easily experiment with Gemini Nano while building their Smart Suggestions feature. And yet, these amazing examples are just the beginning. We're excited to see what you'll build with Gemini. Next up, Mara will share a bit about developer productivity and how Android is making it faster and easier to build excellent experiences across form factors.
We know how much you all love Kotlin. It's been so fun to see the growth and energy in the community. Today, I'm excited to announce that we're taking a significant step forward towards the future with first-class tooling and library support for Kotlin multi-platform on Android. We've been adding Kotlin multi-platform support to Jetpack libraries like Data Store, and now we're expanding it to your favorite libraries like Room. At Google, we've been migrating the Google Docs app to use Kotlin multi-platform to share business logic across Android, iOS, and web. The Workspace team is excited to continue to invest in using Kotlin multi-platform across the rest of their apps in the future. We've been learning a lot from our work with the Google Apps, and we're collaborating with JetBrains and the Kotlin developer community to bring the benefits of KMP to all of you. Kotlin multi-platform will boost your productivity by sharing business logic across platforms. On the UI layer, Compose helps you build excellent experiences. And today, 40% of the top 1,000 apps, like Google Drive, Threads, and SoundCloud, are taking advantage of the benefits Compose brings. We're continuing to invest in Compose with more performance improvements and easier ways to build beautiful UIs across form factors. Compose continues to be faster with each release, and combined with R8 and baseline profiles, can now significantly boost your app's performance. For an even more delightful user experience, you can now use shared element transitions with Compose. We've built a simple and powerful system that helps you choreograph beautiful transitions across screens that share content. It handles size changes and animates text changes, and it works great with predictive back right out of the box. Developers have seen significantly increased engagement on apps that look and feel great across the diverse range of Android devices. Rather than thinking about individual screen sizes, we want you to think adaptive. So write once and adapt across screen sizes and configurations. To make this journey easier, we've built a new set of Compose APIs for building adaptive layouts using material guidance. Early adopters are already integrating these layouts into their Compose projects, significantly reducing development time. We've also been making improvements to stylus, mouse, and keyboard support for Compose to make it easier to adapt to the input device in your user's hand. Take advantage of the new stylus handwriting recognition, which, using the power of AI, transforms handwriting into text when using Views or Compose. Widgets are another high user engagement surface. With Jetpack Glance, you can now build widgets that seamlessly adapt to all screen sizes. And Android 15 brings support for generated previews to improve user discoverability in the widget picker. Next is testing. We're working with Samsung and Pixel and other OEMs to connect their device labs into the new Android device streaming powered by Firebase, now in beta. So you can now validate your adaptive app on a wider array of real devices, including the latest foldables and tablets. We're also continuing to invest in the resizable emulator, which helps you quickly test your app across different device types, as well as building a new Compose UI check mode, which helps you identify and provide solutions to adaptive and accessibility issues. Let's hear from SoundCloud about how Compose accelerated their UI development to create excellent user experiences across devices. Then, Jamal will join us to share more about how AI can supercharge your productivity.
SoundCloud is a next-generation music entertainment company powered by an ecosystem of artists, fans, and curators. My name is Vitus Ortner. I'm super passionate about music, and I'm doing Android development at SoundCloud, where I'm leading the adoption of Jetpack Compose. We started using Jetpack Compose when I was still in early preview. Our goal was to overcome the verbosity that's associated with manipulating XML views. We were able to save up to 45% of lines of code when migrating screens from XML views to Compose. We quickly realized how easy and natural it was to create reusable UI components. Now we've migrated around 50% of our design system to Jetpack Compose. We're investing heavily in writing our base building blocks in Compose so that our engineers can write new features with it and make it their first choice. It's important for us to be available on any form factor so that people can listen to SoundCloud in any situation. Our team's mobile Compose skills transfer directly to other form factors, given that its concepts and most APIs are the same. We built our wearers and TV apps from the ground up in Compose in just 4 months, which would have been unimaginable with the old view system. Some parts of our foldable and tablet layouts and the whole login experience of our car app are built in Compose. Being available across form factors has allowed us to reach new people and markets, which ultimately increases our global reach.
It is so exciting to see how millions of developers create amazing experiences with Android APIs and Android Studio that ultimately touch billions of people and their devices. We care about incorporating AI to accelerate your productivity on Android to make things easier for you. Last year, we introduced StudioBot as your AI coding companion for Android. Thanks to your feedback, we evolved our models, expanded to over 200 countries and territories, released it to stable, and brought it into the Gemini family of products last month with the introduction of Gemini and Android Studio. And today, we will show you how the latest Gemini 1.5 Pro models can take your development to the next level. Our vision is to responsibly use AI so you can spend more time on aspects of development that you like and make the harder tasks easier. So, for example, the Crash Linux integration in Android Studio is even more helpful than ever before. Because on top of showing crashes and errors and the context of our source code, we now use Gemini to analyze and provide recommendations on how to fix those issues. Now, as you venture into more AI features, you ultimately have control of what you share or don't share with AI privacy controls built right into Android Studio. So speaking of Android Studio, let's jump into the IDE to see a few more examples of Gemini in action. So here I am in the Jet Snack app, one of our open source Compose samples. Just wrapping up that cool shared element API integration that Maru shared earlier with us. One of the cool things that Gemini enables is that it makes it easier to optimize my code. So for example, here I have a conditional statement that can be a bit more efficient and idiomatic in Kotlin. To fix this, I can actually use Gemini to optimize this code so that it's easier to understand and maintain. So all I have to do is right-click on my selected code, navigate to Gemini, click on Transform, and let me simply input simplify and make idiomatic with this quick action, and press Enter. And what's happening is that I'm sending the code snippet to the model and getting a result back. So here I have a more optimized code snippet, going from an if-else structure to a more efficient when structure in Kotlin. Now, what is also great is I can do additional modifications to this result. So for instance, it's good practice to add documentation, right? So let me use Gemini to help with that. All I need to do is click on the Refine button. Let's say add some documentation and press Enter and send it to the model. And now I have augmented the code change with the help of Gemini. So let me accept these changes. And there we go. I've optimized the code for readability and even added some code documentation, all with the help of Gemini. Nice. Now, Gemini can do pretty cool things on code itself, but it also does some amazing things that are perfect for Android app development. So, for example, we have this screen here that needs a little bit of translation. So looking at my strings resource file, my colleague left me a to-do to translate to Spanish, but I don't know Spanish that well, but Gemini does. So let me highlight a few strings here. Then I can navigate, right-click, and navigate to Gemini. Click on Transform. In this case, let me type in Translate to Spanish. Let me send this question in strings to the model. I get a response back. It looks pretty good. And note, Gemini kept my app name in English. Nice. So let me do one more section for completeness. Again, I highlight the strings. Right-click, go to Gemini, click on Transform. Let me translate that to Spanish with this quick action. Results look pretty good. Let me accept those. Okay, but to confirm, I can simply refresh my app screen on the left-hand side, which is mostly English. So let me refresh. Of course, there we go. And there we go. So I've translated my app screen from Spanish with the help of Gemini. Alrighty, so far we looked at some code changes, did some translations, but what happens when I want to think about a brand new app? I need a brand new idea to get started. So in front of me, I have a brand new project, and let me open up the Gemini chat window. Now, sometimes you might get a mock-up from Designer as a handoff resource to get started. So in this case, I have a wireframe mock-up of a login screen for an Android app. So let me select that file. Let me enter in a quick prompt here, and let me get this started. Now, what's happening here is I'm using the large context window of Gemini 1.5 Pro that is coming later this year for Android developers. This allows you to do higher quality multimodal input. Again, what we did here was upload a wireframe of an app and give it a very informative prompt that reads, For the image provided, use Jetpack Compose to build the screen so the Compose preview is as close as possible to this image. And also make sure to include imports and use Material 3. So with all these put together, we get a multimodal response back from the Gemini model. Okay, so here it is. All right, so we have a main activity here. It's using Material 3. All right, so let me just copy that to my clipboard. Let me add to my file. Let me close this. Let's open up the preview here. Let's make this interactive. And there we go. We went from wireframe image to working Android code, all using Gemini. So as you can see, Gemini and Android Studio continues to evolve with features like code refinement and transformations that you can try today in Android Studio Koala Preview. And you can try multimodal inputs using Gemini 1.5 Pro later this year. With that, I'd like to invite John to talk about how AI is enhancing web development.
The web turns 35 years old this August. And since 1989, generations of developers like you have shaped this incredible technology and brought countless innovations to our lives. It's the dawn of a new generational shift in computing with AI. Today, I'll show you how we're using AI to supercharge the web and bring you new capabilities and tooling. It's your path to better development. It's a more powerful web made easier. As you heard earlier, Google is unique in its ability to deliver AI solutions that span all types of customers, model sizes, platforms, and environments. The web is vital to achieving global reach, and on-device execution is vital to serving that audience with new AI features. On-device is an ideal complement to serving AI models from the cloud and enables you to deliver AI solutions at lower cost, with fewer capacity challenges, and with better data privacy. No matter what AI models you build your features with, WebGPU and WebAssembly are the backbone technologies that enable on-device AI on the web. This year, we've invested heavily to ensure that models run quickly and efficiently on WebGPU and WASM. Improvements like 16-bit floating point values in WebGPU and Memory 64 and JavaScript promise integration in WASM are making AI run faster on a wider set of hardware. So whether you're using TensorFlow.js, Onyx Runtime, Transformers.js, MediaPipe, or any other AI library, WASM and WebGPU enable you to run your models at scale across the vast majority of devices on the planet. Companies are already seeing the benefits of running AI and ML models on device. Bilibili used WASM and the image recognition technology in MediaPipe to move the text behind the speaker. This simple change improves session duration by 30% and click-through rate by 19%. This commitment to on-device isn't just theoretical for us. Starting in Chrome 126, Gemini Nano will be built into the Chrome desktop client itself. We use Gemini to enable Chrome's features, including Help Me Write, which uses on-device AI to help users write short-form content like product reviews, social media posts, and customer feedback forms. To deliver this feature, we fine-tuned our most efficient version of Gemini and optimized Chrome to load the model quickly. Now, we want to give you access to Gemini models in Chrome. Our vision is that you'll be able to deliver powerful AI features to Chrome's billions of users without having to worry about prompt engineering, fine-tuning, capacity, and cost. All you have to do is call a few high-level APIs like translate, caption, or transcribe. This is a big shift for the web, so we want to get it right. We've started to engage with other browsers, and we want to work with you too. So help us shape the future of the web by signing up for our early preview program. With WebGPU, WASM, and Gemini built into Chrome, the web is AI ready. Let's take a quick look at how AI made it easier for companies like Adobe and CyberAgent to build powerful experiences on the web.
Let's go.
AI features are only as good as the UI that you build around them. So we're delivering powerful new capabilities for you to create app-like experiences on the web. Now, when people think about websites, they often picture clicking on a blue link, waiting for the page to load, maybe things shift around a little bit, and then finally you can start exploring the content. But that's not the web we envision. Our vision is one where the website is a single holistic experience, where you seamlessly transition from one part of the site to the next, and your context moves with you. To achieve this, we first need to get rid of those tiresome page loads. Our new Speculation Rules API will enable truly instant navigation. Speculation rules will dramatically speed up browsing within a site by prefetching and pre-rendering pages in the background. This allows pages to load literally in milliseconds. And best of all, the API requires only a few lines of code to get started. NitroPack was able to improve their Core Web Vital loading scores by 75% with speculation rules. And by using AI to identify the sites that their users were most likely to visit, they optimized another 20% and increased the efficiency of prefetched and pre-rendered sites. Next, we need to make the transition experience seamless. And to achieve this, we launched the View Transitions API for single-page apps, and we've been amazed by the response. Developers across the world are already using View Transitions to build better experiences. Using this API, Airbnb has created smooth and seamless navigations from the listing editor sidebar right into editing photos and adding amenities, all within a fluid user flow. But not everyone wants a single-page app like Airbnb. And you shouldn't have to choose one architecture over another just to create a great user experience. So available today in Chrome Canary 126, View Transitions API can now be used for multi-page apps. Now you can create fluid navigation regardless of your site's architecture. And when you combine View Transitions with speculation rules and AI, page transitions can be truly seamless. With these new interaction possibilities available to every developer, you can redefine what we think of as a web app. And as you build these new experiences, Chrome DevTools is one of the most popular ways to debug and tune your app. Let me show you a new way that we're using AI to make Chrome DevTools easier than ever. DevTools is great at giving you warnings and errors when your site isn't going to work correctly. However, those errors aren't always the easiest to interpret. Gemini will now generate insights right in your Chrome DevTools console. It will help you understand what the problem is and how to fix it. Let's take a quick look at how this works with a simple web app built using Angular. A lot of my friends love boba tea. And believe it or not, I've never actually had it. So I thought I would do some research on which I should try first. Let's do a quick search of the different types. That's not working. Let's see if we can figure out what's wrong. I'm going to open up Chrome DevTools. And when I look at the first error, it looks like my URL has been blocked by the CORS policy. I don't really know what that is or how to fix it. So I'm going to go over to this light bulb icon next to the error. And when I hover over it, it says, understand this error. I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to hit Continue to consent to having my data be sent up to Gemini. And just like that, Gemini instantly generates a personalized explanation of the error and a potential solution. That's cool. And from reading this description, it looks like my issue is caused by the network response header. So let me copy this code that Gemini gives me, and I'm going to navigate over to the network panel and reproduce the error. Here's the URL that's causing the problem. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to scroll down to the response header section and click Add Header. Then I'm going to override the network response header by copying and pasting the code that Gemini gave me. Let's see if that works. And just like that, the error is gone. AI can speed up web development by taking away so much of the debugging pain, so you can focus on what you care about most. Console Insights in Chrome DevTools is available today as an experimental feature in the US, and will be rolling out to more countries soon. Thank you for taking this journey with us as we make the web more powerful and easier than ever together. And we know in today's world, your users expect a seamless experience, no matter where they're engaging with your apps. So now, here's Aaron to talk about how we're helping you serve your customers across platforms.
All right. Now, Google is committed to helping you build, test, and ship AI-powered apps that run well on Android, web, and across all the platforms your users need. Now, you told us how big a deal this is, and you told us how hard it can be. So we embarked on a mission to create an integrated developer workspace. Now, imagine if you could bring together a collection of Google products and tools with full extensibility to bring in any of the other services you need for full-stack, AI-powered, multi-platform development. And that is how Project IDX was born. We were overwhelmed by your response. Hundreds of thousands of you signed up to try it, and we'd like everyone to be able to experience it for themselves. So today, IDX is open to public beta with no wait list. Thank you. Right, let's dive in to see what you can do. To start, IDX makes it so easy to get to work quickly with over a dozen preloaded templates with the basic files and packages you need, or by importing your existing GitHub repo and its dependencies, or even by starting with a blank slate. You have all the tools you need at your fingertips, and many are already configured in the IDX workspace, like Go, Gemini, and others. And now, there are 3 new integrations to help improve your velocity. First, the Google Maps platform easily adds geo functionality to your apps. You can also debug issues with Chrome Web Apps using DevTools and Lighthouse. And when you are ready, enable multi-region deployment with Cloud Run. And as an early announcement, coming soon to IDX is a new way to simplify your app privacy and compliance workflow with Checks, Google's AI compliance platform. Thank you. Checks code compliance monitors and detects compliance issues as you're writing code, helping to ensure the safety and the quality of your applications. iOS and Android developers can access Checks today via the Checks website. All right, so switching gears from what's new and coming soon to IDX, let's touch on the latest advancements with some of the most popular products that IDX integrates with, Flutter and Firebase. All right. Flutter is the world's most popular open source framework for building beautiful cross-platform apps and games. It is one of the fastest ways to bring your apps to life across platforms with native performance. And Flutter's single code base helps you ship AI features like text generation, summarization, and chat across platforms quickly and easily. Now, take, for example, Bricket, an app that uses Google's on-device AI tools to help you rediscover the potential of your existing plague bricks. The app quickly recognizes and classifies bricks in a pile and helps you reimagine what you could build. Now, the team initially only shipped an iOS app, but by switching to Flutter, they expanded their reach to Android, more than doubling their users. And after just a few months later, they're a global hit. So Bricket is a great example of Flutter empowering a team to ship across iOS and Android, but what if they wanted to bring that same experience to an even wider audience? That is where the web comes in. And we're excited to share that WASM support for Flutter web apps is available today in the stable channel as part of Flutter 3.22 and Dart 3.4. Our benchmarks show that compiling Flutter web apps to WASM offers up to 2x improvement in frame time when compared to Flutter web apps compiled to JavaScript. So this means that teams like Bricket can offer the same smooth UI and powerful on-device features directly to users on the web. Run Flutter upgrade and try WASM support today. All right, you've got your front end up and running across platforms, and now you need to seamlessly connect to back-end services. Of course, that is where Firebase comes in. And here's David to tell you about updates we're shipping for Firebase.
Thanks, Aaron. Over the years, millions of you have relied on Firebase to accelerate your app development and run your apps with confidence, which for me is amazing because when I started working on Firebase over 10 years ago, it was only a database. Then, in 2016, we transformed Firebase into a full app platform. Well, today, we're evolving Firebase again. We want to enable you to rapidly build and run AI-powered experiences in your apps across platforms. And with this new logo comes a few new surprises. Let's start with databases, and more specifically, SQL databases. For years, many of you have asked us, how do I use Firebase with SQL? Well, today, we're unveiling Firebase Data Connect with Google Cloud SQL in preview. And Data Connect is more than just SQL. It's an entirely new way to build secure and type-safe apps with Firebase. We designed Data Connect so you'll be writing far less app code than before. Your queries are generated into type-safe client-side code, keeping your app code in sync with your data structure. And Data Connect is built for AI development. With vector and function calling support, you can build AI agent-like flows and search for similarities using your stored embeddings. So if you're excited to try out Data Connect, sign up for the preview and check out our one-click template in IDX. And next up, let's talk hosting. So many of you are building with JavaScript frameworks like Angular and Next.js. Well, we wanted to reimagine Firebase to help you ship these modern web apps at global scale. So we're introducing Firebase App Hosting, our next-generation serverless hosting product in preview. App Hosting automatically pulls the source code from your GitHub repository, runs the framework build, and orchestrates the Google Cloud infrastructure you need so you can ship faster than ever before. Oh, and we're not done yet. Since the early days of Firebase, we have obsessed over the getting started experience. When we released the real-time database, we made it so you just needed a script tag and some JavaScript to sync data in milliseconds across devices. We want to bring that same level of ease and familiarity to Gen AI developments. Well, I'm excited to announce Firebase GenKit, a new AI integration framework for app developers in beta now for Node.js and with Go support coming soon. GenKit gives you a consistent API across LLMs. And with GenKit, trying a new model is just as easy as changing a single argument. And GenKit also works with Zod schemas to generate structured TypeScript output from LLM responses. And because this is Firebase, we wanted to make debugging and testing easy. So GenKit comes with a local development UI you can use to inspect every trace and run your flows locally to tweak and improve output. Firebase GenKit works out of the box with Gemini and Gemma models hosted in your environments. And to improve performance, Google also collaborated with NVIDIA to optimize your inference performance with our Gemma models. You can run GenKit locally on your RTX GPU with Ollama and Gemma. And when you're ready to get to production, GenKit can easily deploy your code as an authenticated API right to Firebase or Google Cloud. We'll continue investing in creating a more integrated developer experience to help you bring your AI applications to market faster and safely across platforms. Now, I'd like to welcome Sharbani on stage to talk about our ML models.
What's the hardest problem you're working on? No, really, what's the hardest problem you're working on? I invite you to keep that top of mind and dream big, while we chat about our open models, unpack our underlying frameworks and tooling, and dig into a quick demo as to how you can join together these underlying nuts and bolts to make something magical. Building with generative AI models can be as easy as using our Gemini API, as my friend Jacqueline talked about earlier, where we handle the heavy lifting of training and maintaining complex models so you can focus on building AI features. But what about when you need a little bit more flexibility and control to be able to fine-tune, augment, and ground a model for your specific use cases? That's why we released our Gemma family of open models. Built on the same cutting-edge infrastructure and tooling as our Gemini models, we wanted to make the most useful and responsible set of open models. Just last month, we released Code Gemma to better support coding tasks across languages, and Recurrent Gemma that leverages recurrent neural networks and local attention to improve memory efficiency and faster inference. And as Josh announced earlier this morning, we're adding PalyGemma for multimodal image to text and previewed our next generation, Gemma 2, with new architecture that achieves stellar performance and fits onto a single TPU v5e. With new models and a blistering pace of innovation, does it feel challenging to keep up? Yeah, of course it does. To make things easier, we've invested in providing more optionality at every layer of our training stack to better meet you where you are, helping you leverage as much of your existing skills and tools as possible. Starting from the ground up, with state-of-the-art hardware, GPUs and TPUs, including our new 6th-generation Trillium TPU announced earlier by Sundar, both of which can be optimized for AI workloads by using the cutting-edge ML compiler OpenXLA, which supports multiple frameworks, including TensorFlow and JAX and their surrounding ML ecosystem. To Keras 3, our easy-to-use Pythonic libraries that now work with multiple backends, including TensorFlow, JAX, or PyTorch, all embraced by millions of developers. Now, let's dig a little deeper, and let me bring my colleague Lawrence on stage for a quick collab.
Woo! Thank you. Colab, Google Colab. It's a great place for developers and researchers to get started with that entire stack that Shabani just mentioned. From software like Keras being pre-installed to GPUs and TPUs being available free of charge, it does make it really easy for you to have best-of-breed AI development at your fingertips in the browser for free.
And for current or recovering data scientists, right? You know, we love to data science the kittens out of problems to get new solutions.
Quite. Well, actually for that, there's a cool new thing available in Colab starting today, Rapids QDF. Without changing your Pandas code, you can run it much, much faster. I've personally seen a 50x acceleration on NVIDIA GPUs when doing those data science-y bits.
Nice. Now, how about we share with our friends here the side project that you and I have been working on and give a glimpse into a day in the life of what it's like working in AI.
Well, everybody, don't tell Sundar, but we spend way too much time brainstorming app ideas over way too much coffee.
One of those ideas was for an artificially intelligent app that could find a new book from my family book club based on what we've already read and enjoyed. And since it will include information about my family, I'll want it to work on device to keep things private.
So, challenge accepted. But I'll let you all in on a little secret. Those same code and those same skills that you've invested in and you've grown have gone beyond creating your own models. And they actually make it really easy for you to get into the world of generative AI and fine-tune with industry-standard low-rank adaptation, also known as LoRa, all from within Colab. Now, models like Gemma are really terrific at general reasoning. But for a specific task like our book idea, it is much better for you to tune them on your own data.
Now, we're just using a single GPU in Colab, but sometimes you might be dealing with more data or a bigger model in the cloud, meaning you'll need to span multiple accelerators. And that's where the distribution strategy API is your friend.
Absolutely. The quicker you train, the quicker you iterate, and the better your solution. I could geek out about this all day.
Yes, you could. Now all we need is data. Let's use the Gemini API to help us create some synthetic data to kickstart the process.
So a quick trip into Google AI Studio with a simple prompt, and we now have a generated CSV of lots of books, including title, genre, and even a little summary. But to instruction tune a model, your data does have to be in a specific format. So to take that CSV from Gemini and work on it, we're just going to go back into Colab, and using Python, we can see it's actually a pretty easy task. And here, you're now going to see that I'm using Keras with a JAX backend for top performance. Now, you might recognize we're doing a good old-fashioned model.fit, and now Gemma can artificially understand and intelligently reason across a diverse range of books. Let's start training this, and we'll hope that those learning leprechauns are with us. But now I need to think how I'm going to run this on a mobile.
You did write the book on it. Speaking of mobile, we're making it easier for you with Google AI Edge. This brings easy access to all the best models, including generative, along with a suite of tools to run inference on the edge. And today, we've expanded support for TensorFlow Lite so you can run your PyTorch models too.
Whoop, whoop.
Now, you saw earlier that my friend Matthew spoke about how MediaPipe helps you bring generative models to your device. Let's use that.
Yeah, absolutely. And here it is. You can see it in Android Studio. All I'm doing is loading the MediaPipe API with an entry in my build.gradle. And now I have libraries that will help me load the model and do inference on it. Now, to instruction tune a model like Gemma with a lot of data takes a little bit more time than we have on stage here. It's about 20 minutes on a GPU.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad, but even so, I'm going to use one that I built earlier.
Well, I think we can do a little more to personalize it. How about we take the notes that I've made about what my family likes, and we use that to augment prompts to the model with RAG to get better answers. And remember, keeping on device is great because I want to make sure my details don't get shared with anyone.
I've read your mind meld. And here's a simple RAG, and I've used MediaPipe's on-device text similarity model to augment my prompt to our Gemma. Now, Sharbani, you were wondering if your family would enjoy the time-traveling catacorn. Well, that's quite the endorsement that it gave, and you know what? Maybe I'll just read that book myself.
To learn more about the AI models, frameworks, and tools that we covered today, check out ai.google.dev. And while this is a quick demo, it shows useful steps that you can take to use Gemini and our simple APIs to create synthetic data and kickstart an idea. Fine-tune Gemma on this data with Laura to create an instance with deeper expertise on books, implement RAG to personalize the experience, and keep everything on device thanks to Google AI Edge. Now, before we go, how about we show you just one more of our coffee chat ideas?
Do we have to go? Okay. Well, our coffee chats, they're not just for the fun stuff. We also try to solve those hard problems. And you might remember last year we spoke about Project GameFace, open sourced and using Google AI Edge to allow you to use your facial gestures as a controller. Well, this solution has grown into something even more inspirational. Let's take a look.
Project GameFace has had quite the journey. It unlocked a new way for users to engage with their favorite games. Thinking outside the controller, Faces became the new command center.
With Project GameFace, we realized we had the opportunity to use Google AI to make digital devices more accessible. We're excited to launch Project GameFace for Android, which allows users to control a novel virtual cursor on their Android devices just by using their head movement and facial expression. Google is working closely with Inclusa, a social enterprise that works with organizations to understand accessibility needs, nuances of how persons with disabilities use Android devices, and how Project GameFace can be a genuine partner in their life.
I am experimenting with the gesture size feature to see which facial gesture I can use most effectively.
With the power of MediaPipe and Android Accessibility Service, we're excited to see how developers will build new applications and solve nuanced use cases with this product.
Project GameFace is breaking barriers, widening access to technology, and redefining the possible.
This morning, Sundar talked about how we're imagining ways for humans and AI agents to work together to tackle complex tasks step by step. Let me show you one more thing an AI agent can do to make data scientists out there really excited. Here's an early concept of a data science agent. Under the hood, it uses Gemini 1.5 Pro and takes advantage of long context. I can simply ask a question in plain language about a data set that I uploaded. And this is not just the model completing the code. It's the model coming up with an entire plan and running it. And not only do I get an answer to my initial question about the data set, but the AI agent also produces a fully functional Colab notebook based on your instructions. And you can share it with others, allowing for real-time collaboration on code, new visualizations, and all of the results. It's available today at labs.google/code, and let us know what you think about it. Now you see why I'm so excited today? You see? We're committed to empowering you to build with generative AI boldly and responsibly. From Gemini-powered assistants in your favorite IDEs to easy access to our most powerful Gemini models. And it comes with flexibility to use Gemma open models. You have an opportunity to reach anyone, anywhere, through Google's ecosystem of devices, app experiences, and platforms. We continue to invest in resources, too, to give your projects a boost. Google Accelerators and the Google Developer Profile are just a couple of great examples. Our accelerators have guided over 1,300 startups in 84 countries with countless success stories. And that includes 20 startups that have grown to become unicorns. Eugenie AI, founded by Dr. Sudip Roy Chowdhury, is a recent graduate of our Climate Change Accelerator. Eugenie was born out of Dr. Chowdhury's desire to use AI for good. His team helps manufacturing companies to dramatically reduce their carbon emissions. And Eugenie's algorithms apply Google DeepMind research, which has helped to optimize energy use in Google's own data centers. Eugenie was able to streamline their model development and their analytics with accurate emissions data through Google Earth Engine. We love working alongside startups to tackle big problems and invite all of you to apply to an upcoming accelerator soon. If you have one of the 15 million Google developer profiles, you enjoy invitations for early access programs, a chance to participate in research, and opportunities to attend special events. Beginning today, your profile is evolving into something even better. Introducing the Google Developer Program. Members of the program can now access new benefits at no cost, and I'm going to take you through them. First, you can access Gemini for learning and searching and chatting with documentation. Second, for IDX users, we're now enabling you to go from 2 workstations up to 5. And third, if you're in the Google Cloud Innovators community, you get credits for interactive labs on Google Cloud Skills Boost. Sign up for the Google Developer Program today, or if you have an existing profile, you're all set. More benefits are coming soon, so be on the lookout. That brings us to the close of today's developer keynote, but we're not quite done. There's a lot more to Google I/O than just the keynotes. If you're with us in person, attend the sessions, the workshops, and demos both today and tomorrow. If you're online, you'll find all the sessions available on io.google starting this Thursday morning, Mountain View time. Last year, we kicked off a series of I/O Connect events to bring the in-person experience from Shoreline to more places that are closer to you. Well, we heard just how much you love them, so we've got 3 of them lined up this year. starting in Berlin on June 27th, and then we're in Bengaluru in July and Beijing in August. And I'll be at all of them, so I hope to see you there too. If you can't join us at IO Connect, come to one of the many community-led IO Extended events happening in your local area. Now, I'd like to share something really cool with you. We had Project Astra watch the keynote this morning. Yes. Let's see what it says.
Hey, my name is Michael Chang, and we're watching the Google I/O keynote while it's happening with Project Astra. Let's take a look. Hey, Gemini, I'm currently watching a Google I/O keynote right now. You want to watch it with me?
Sure, I'd love to watch it with you. What's happening in the keynote?
Well, what does it look like? What does it look like they're announcing right now?
It looks like they are announcing Gemini 1.5 Flash. The speaker is talking about its speed and efficiency in comparison to the Pro model.
What are the other features?
It looks like Gemini 1.5 Flash is optimized for tasks where low latency and high efficiency matter most.
Cool.
The screen also showed...
Oh yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. Keep going.
That's all right. What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about the capabilities of 1.5 Flash. Do you remember?
Yes, we were discussing the new Gemini model and its efficiency and speed. The presentation seems to have moved on, though. What would you like to talk about now?
Well, I'm curious about what he's going to talk about next.
He seems to be moving on to the topic of model training and feedback. Perhaps they will talk about how user input helps train the models.
It looks like he just announced a new project. What is that project called?
They are calling that project Project Astra. It looks to focus on the future of AI assistants.
What do you think Project Astra will be helpful for?
It sounds like a very ambitious project. It will be interesting to see what kind of AI assistant they create and how it integrates with our daily lives.
They seem to say it's a universal agent. What would you use a universal agent for?
A universal agent that can help with everyday tasks would indeed be helpful. It could potentially be useful for things like scheduling, finding information, or even controlling smart home devices.
Oh, that would be super cool.
I agree, it sounds amazing. Having a seamless and intuitive AI agent could revolutionize how we interact with technology.
Yeah, can you summarize what he showed so far?
The speaker introduced Project Astra, an AI-powered universal agent for everyday tasks that is still under development. They discussed the challenges of building this technology and how their team is working toward making Astra helpful and intuitive for users.
Wow, amazing. And what did he talk about before Project Astra?
He was discussing the Gemini 1.5 model, particularly Gemini 1.5 Flash, which focuses on efficiency and speed. The presentation was focused on the future direction of AI models and user feedback's role in training those models.
It looks like they're now doing a demo of Project Astra. What does it look like they're doing right now?
In the video, someone is holding a phone and panning across a table. The phone is running Project Astra, which can identify a speaker and a cup of crayons.
And what is it doing now?
It appears to be scanning a computer screen displaying code. Astra then explains what the highlighted section of the code is doing.
Wow, that's super cool. Thanks for explaining all of these things to me, Gemini.
You're very welcome. Is there anything else I can explain about the presentation?
Let's just keep on watching. What's currently happening?
In the video, Astra is identifying the King's Cross neighborhood of London using the phone's camera view. It's also providing some facts about the area.
Wow, I can't believe this technology exists right now.
It does look quite impressive. Astra seems very advanced at interpreting what it sees and providing relevant information.
That was a lot of fun to watch. And I'm looking forward to Project Astra, as I'm sure all of you are too. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go build something amazing.